In this video, we'll be checking out our top 5 resource dinos in ARK Survival Ascended. By resource dinos, we mean those that can provide unique or convenient resources. These shall all be custom and original modded creatures available on the CurseForge platform. And if you'd like to see more of these top 5 videos, don't forget to hit subscribe and follow the channel. Starting off at number 5, we have the Protoceratops by the Sunken World Editions. The Protoceratops is indeed just a berry gatherer, and while there is a plethora of berry gathering options in the early game, the Protoceratops is by far one of the easier and more useful ones to get. The Protoceratops has about the same harvesting capabilities for berries as does any other herbivore, but when trying to damage and harvest trees, it will instead harvest a type of custom fruit. This fruit will not only benefit the Protoceratops when fed to it, giving it a sugar frenzy buff and increased capabilities, but the fruits can also be utilized in the custom cooking recipes provided by the Sunken World mod. And these custom meals can include unique perks such as an experience buff, cures and immunities to diseases, and also improves performance while swimming underwater. The Protoceratops itself is also a very speedy guy, which can be simply passive-tamed via berries or the fruits it produces, and thus when compared to other berry gatherers in the early game, the Protoceratops does lean ahead as one of the more sturdy and viable ones. At number 4, we have the Eurypterid from No Untameables by myrmecoleontidae. This hardy little sea scorpion, when made tameable, has the unique ability to passively generate silica pearls and black pearls within its inventory, both of which are hard to find resources which are required in a lot of end-game recipes and even some mid-game ones too, especially with silica pearls, as of ARK Ascended, being harder to spot in wild, what with their glowing emissives now being removed, making it harder to find and gather in the ocean, not to mention that black pearls in general are pretty hard to obtain only from alphas and very limited sources from the island, the occasional deathworm loot in Scorched Earth, and otherwise are only really plentiful in Aberration. Whereas for the Eurypterid itself, it does still retain its high torpor and therefore makes it dangerous to get close to. However, in this mod, they can be both passive tamed and knockout tamed with a simple carnivore diet, or by giving them simple kibble. Now, they are admittedly the more harder to find creature, which is why we have it quite low on this list, since they're only really found in the deep oceans of the island at the center and not at all in Scorched Earth or Aberration. But we are holding out for the fact that in Ragnarok, assuming the spawns are the same, they'll be very easy to obtain around the Viking Bay area, especially with them notoriously coming up to the surface and onto beaches back in ARK Survival Evolved. So if that stands to be the case in the ASA version of Ragnarok, then early game Eurypterids will be not only possible, but utterly invaluable for their early game Pearl generation, and can really open up some interesting possibilities. At number 3, we had the Light Bug, which is also from No Untameables. Now, unlike the other creatures within this list, the Light Bug is only relevant to Aberration. However, it is within Aberration, or any aberrant map, that has a fantastic use, and that is their ability to produce charge light and fill out charge batteries. It is quite as simple as just putting it in an inventory and leaving it for not that long actually. They recharge very, very fast, especially compared to others, and due to the fact that the Light Bug can be found anywhere within Aberration, especially the green biome, this means that you can gain access to charge batteries and therefore the entire electricity tier really, really early. So despite being incredibly niche, the sheer convenience and simplicity of the Light Bug brings it to a nice and respectable number 3 on this list. At number 2, we have the Hiveopod from ScrappedAssets made by armangamer. The Hiveopod itself is a creature that can be found on any map, whether it be the lava island of the center, the various caves, canyons, and Wyvern Trench of Scorched Earth, or the Rock Drake Trench, Glowtail Cave, and the entirety of the red biome, all within Aberration. However, it's particularly in Scorched Earth and soon Extinction where you'll really be looking for a Hiveopod due to them producing Hiveopod toxin in their inventories when killed. And the Hiveopod toxin is an alternative to biotoxin, a special and valued resource which otherwise cannot be found naturally in Scorched Earth or in Extinction. And of course, biotoxin is fantastic for certain recipes such as shocking trank darts. This does mean that overall the Hiveopod is a much more niche creature within this list when it comes to resource production, but it's a special one that just its sheer presence alone makes an entire recipe, the shocking trank darts, now viable and possible in maps that are just deficit of this resource, such as Scorched Earth. Not to mention, it's always nice having an alternative that doesn't involve searching for the now rarer jellyfish in ARK Ascended's oceans. Though for what it's worth, for any ocean fans, we do have a honourable mention towards the No Untameables Cnidaria, since when tamed, they do also passively produce biotoxin as well, which gives you all the more options. And thus at number 1 for this list, we have the Cockatrice by wildwaghorn. The Cockatrice can be found in every released ASA map so far, and generally have a high level requirement to tame. However, the taming process itself is actually quite easy. And this mythical beast of legend is entirely worth obtaining since it is the ultimate mineral gatherer. Wildwaghorn's Cockatrice sports 2 different methods for harvesting resources. The first is that by default, it can just simply kick rocks, metals, crystals, gems, and so forth to harvest a high amount of these minerals and has a good weight reduction as well. But additionally, the Cockatrice has a unique ability to convert any organic resources into said minerals as well. When harvesting the corpse of any wild animal, it will automatically convert all of the hide, pelt, meat, chitin, and so forth into their equivalent mineral resources, which means that this gathering dino can be used offensively and just still gaining building materials. And to really cement the Cockatrice's place within this list, not only is it efficient to use by the fact that it benefits from both resource nodes and from harvesting corpses, but it also has fantastic mobility as well, good sprinting, good jump, and even a glide and a bit of a hover, which is more to offer than pretty much every other resource gathering dino currently available in ARK Ascended. The fact that the Cockatrice is viable for both resource harvesting, general combat prowess, traveling, navigating, and conversions, and all the while constantly yielding new resources that are required for both building and for rare recipes, it is fair to say that the Cockatrice definitely deserves number 1 within this list. And that is our top 5 resource dinos for ARK Survival Ascended. What do you think of this list? Is there anything you'd add to it? Or perhaps we've missed out on any mods available on the CurseForge platform? Please feel free to let us know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of these, like and subscribe for more ARK Ascended mods videos, and keep an eye out for future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.